check this out.
Guilty, guilty, guilty was the verdict handed down by a jury of Hunter Biden's peers. For the first time in his life, Hunter faced the music. 2 counts of lying on a gun form, 1 count of possession of a firearm by a drug user.
It's crazy.
Hunter Biden appeared wide-eyed and motionless as he became the first child of a sitting president to be convicted of a crime. 3 felonies. Hunter now facing a maximum of 25 years in prison, but the sentencing guidelines suggest just a couple, although the judge could deviate and do whatever she wants.
What the hell?
Sentencing will probably occur before September 5th, when Hunter goes on trial in L.A. for tax evasion. That means Hunter could be sentenced to prison just days before the second presidential debate. He'll obviously appeal. Here's special counsel David Weiss after today's verdict.
Okay, I'm listening. You have my attention now.
Hunter Biden was convicted of 2 counts of lying on a form submitted to a federal firearms dealer about his addiction or use of crack cocaine, and possessing a firearm while a user or addict. No one in this country is above the law. Everyone must be accountable for their actions, even this defendant. However, Hunter Biden should be no more accountable than any other citizen convicted of this same conduct.
That's the same Biden prosecutor who tried to hand Hunter probation and lifetime immunity for the guns and the tax felonies.
That's true.
So we're wondering where this newfound concept of accountability came from. Here's what one juror had to say after the verdict. Watch.
Biden was on trial, and he was just like anybody else. Nobody's above the law, no matter who you are. Politics played no part in this whatsoever.
The jury followed the law, the judge ran a tight trial, and justice was served.
Exactly.
But just because one Democrat was convicted doesn't mean the American legal system isn't being abused. The feds are still throwing dozens of Republicans in prison on trumped-up charges and trying to incarcerate the Republican nominee for a crime they cooked up with black magic to hocus pocus an election. Hunter's judge didn't donate to a group called Stop Democrats either. The media celebrated the Trump verdict like a July 4th barbecue, but treated Hunter's like a funeral.
This trial inside the courtroom, like virtually every criminal trial, was a personal story, a personal tragedy, a family tragedy.
Every presidential family is part of the American family. That's the way it works. This is a tragedy for the Biden family.
Well, duh.
That family drama played out in a courtroom in ways we have never seen before. It doesn't make it any less painful for the nation or for the family. But the verdict is now real, and the consequences will apply.
This public life of this family, which began a half-century ago, after all, with the car accident that killed his late wife and his daughter, injured his 2 sons.
Boy.
You now fast forward all the way to today, and this really dramatic and ultimately painful process continues.
Hunter's everything the media claims to despise. A white, privileged, sexist, spoiled brat who barks, "Don't you know who my daddy is?"
That's crazy!
But he's a Democrat, so the media circles the wagons. The media has more sympathy for a crack addict who dumped a gun by a school than for a president who just wants to make America great again. Moments ago, Hunter and Joe were seen hugging on the tarmac in Delaware, where they'll be spending the night together.
Wow.
I'm sure this Father's Day weekend's going to be a little awkward. Biden wished he could have been there sooner, but in an act of poetic injustice, he had to attend a gun control event just hours before the verdict.
There's never been a time that says you can own anything you want. Never. You couldn't own a cannon during the Civil War.
That's true.
No, I'm serious. Think about it. How much have you heard this phrase? The blood of liberty. Wash it, though. Give me a break. If they want to think to take on government if we get out of line, which they're talking again about, well, guess what? They need F-15s. They don't need a rifle. I mean, it's from the bottom of my heart.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
No. Biden's son was so cocked, loaded, and high, he's lucky no one died. But he wants to restrict the Second Amendment for sober, law-abiding Americans. And by the way, our government had F-15s in Afghanistan, and the Taliban won with rifles. We're not looking to overthrow Joe, just to throw him out. After a jury found Hunter guilty of gun felonies, Joe Biden said he is proud of him.
Wow.
Quote, "Jill and I love our son, and we are so proud of the man he is today." There's no contrition at all by the Biden family. Hunter didn't show any remorse. He was smiling afterwards. His father's not ashamed, wouldn't even gently condemn his son's actions.
I don't know.
Hunter's committed more crimes than we can count, and all Biden says is he's proud. The reason Hunter's broken the law for 30 years and not paid the piper is because of his dad. If every time I screwed up and my dad's response was, "I'm proud, son, I love you," I'd keep screwing up.
It's funny because it's true.
Bailing somebody out over and over again doesn't mean you love them. Hunter was kicked out of the Navy for cocaine on an administrative discharge instead of a dishonorable one because his dad greased the brass. Hunter got caught with cocaine at the Jersey Shore way back in the 80s, and the senator's son had his record expunged. When he left his crack pipe in a rental car, police investigated and dropped the charges. When he put 20 grand on his dad's Amex for Russian escorts, the Secret Service cleaned it up. When he lost his laptop, the FBI and CIA covered it up. When he owed millions in back taxes, his sugar brother footed the bill. When he needed money for alimony and child support, Daddy's donors bought his dopey art. His dad's own Justice Department tried to make the gun and tax case go away a year ago today.
Exactly.
What makes you think Daddy won't save him again?
Will you accept the jury's outcome, their verdict, no matter what it is?
Yes.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes.
Biden never used the word commute. Commuting a sentence means you just spring him out of prison. The charge is still on their record.
What the hell?
Biden's going to have to save his son to save his own hide. Remember the taxes and the gun? Only a fraction of the crimes Hunter and Joe Biden would be guilty of if prosecutors were allowed to follow the facts. Whistleblowers have testified that investigators were blocked at every turn from following leads that led to Joe. The CIA and FBI and the Treasury Departments are all in on the cover-up. A strong case could be made for Trump prosecutors to investigate money laundering, racketeering, bribery, foreign lobbying conspiracies. Donald Trump calls the gun case a distraction.
That's true.
Quote, "The trial has been nothing more than a distraction from the real crimes of the Biden crime family, which has raked in tens of millions of dollars from China, Russia, and Ukraine. Crooked Joe Biden's reign over the Biden family criminal empire is all coming to an end on November 5th. And never again will a Biden sell government access for personal profit."
God, I love that man.